ready?
I'm flattered you heard that.
I was listening to you.
Man, we
Everyone
got to
listens
get
to
you a
Nick
hobby.
Bauman's town, Andy, you know that?
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about this season and the new conference. We're asking the baseball guys, kind of unique. What's your take on it? Is it a little more pep in your step, or is it the same start of the season feel for you?
Well, obviously we're excited to get started. Anytime, we get ahead to Arizona, that's an exciting trip for us, and we play great competition, so we're always ready for that trip. But, as far as the Big East, we've been doing a little bit of research. We're excited about going to some different places and seeing some different teams and making and developing some new rivalries and new friendships. But, we haven't really talked a lot about that right yet. We've been focused just getting ready for that first weekend out, and now that we did a pretty good job down at ASU.
And the way that the season ended last year, how much did that stick with the girls to kind of drive them through the off season?
Oh,
Does it?
I don't know if it sticks with them. It's of course we lost on a home run first pitch when our pitcher slipped and the ball floats over the middle of the plate, and we lose 1-0 to UNI, who we'd beaten early in the season at home in the conference tournament. So yeah, it's going to stick with you a little bit, but our goals are always the same. We want to win a conference championship. One thing, we were able to do that last year, and we have a group in our locker room right now that hasn't been to postseason play from an NCAA standpoint. So there's no question that's our goal, is to advance the NCAA tournament.
Go ahead.
You guys already played in a few games. What have you learned early on?
I learned that we were able to recover from a rough start. We didn't start the way we'd hoped. We played a tough team in San Jose right out of the chute. That game did not go well at all, and then all of a sudden you got to bounce back quickly and play an ASU squad with maybe the best returning pitcher in the country, a top 10 team, and I think we handled that pretty well. We played well against ASU. But you're staring 0-2 after the first day. I told the girls I didn't sleep very well, and we told them how important it was to come back and get a win right out of the chute the next day, and we were really sharp the next day. We scored early, we defended well, we had a nice win against a Western Michigan team. So you hope as a coach when you have 6 seniors that you can bounce back from an 0-2 start. But nothing's automatic. Until you win that first game, you haven't won the first game. So I like the way we recovered, and then to come back and get a real nice outing from Alexis Cantu for about 5 1/3 innings against a Boise State, and then Becca came and closed it. And then, of course, the highlight is beating Cal on the last day, and beating a team with that tradition and that name. So to beat Cal last day was a high note for that trip.
What kind of confidence does a win like that give the ladies?
Of course, I think it gives them confidence. They're a confident group. I told them beforehand, we fully expected to win that game. Again, when you have 6 seniors and you have as many returners as we do, we think we can play with anybody. The hard thing is we haven't been out. And, when we played our first game against San Jose, we looked like a Northern team that hadn't been out, which was disappointing to me because we don't want to look like that. We think we can be a little better than that out of the chute. But, the other thing you got to remember is we played 4 games in a 24-hour time span, and we played afternoon games on our first day and bounced back and played 2 morning games the next day, and it was amazing to see the growth in 4 games in a 24-hour period.
What about your pitching staff with Changstrom and Cantu? Do you expect those two to go 1-2 the whole year long?
We have depth in our pitching staff, which is what I really like. Alexis had a nice outing, didn't give up any earned runs, really kept people off balance. Becca was really sharp against ASU and wasn't her best against Cal and was still good enough to win the game. And then
what about the start you guys had? What did you guys learn about yourselves over the weekend playing those 4 games?
I think we really learned that we can compete with anybody this weekend. We tried our best every game, and we have a lot of players that can contribute to the team.
What about your pitching staff? They're going to be a strength, I'm assuming, right?
Yes. Becca's definitely our ace in the circle, but we have a lot of contributors back there, and Mac and Lex and Brittany are all very good pitchers, and they can get the job done just as much as Becca can.
What do you think about this new conference you're going to? Are you excited? How big of a deal is this for you guys, or is it just softball?
I think it's kind of a big deal. I mean, we're going to places we've never been, never played, new teams. But I think the competition is going to be there, and I think it's going to challenge us just as much as the Valley did. So.
Do you think that people know what you guys are all about, too? I mean, they're new, but you're new to them, right?
Right. They're just a team. I think we're not in Arizona State, but we're pretty good, so I think it's going to be interesting for them to see how we compete.
Hey, Coach talked about you guys not having been to an NCAA tournament. None of you guys.
No.
How big of how important and how much do you guys talk about getting to that level?
I think it's definitely in the back of everyone's mind that we need to get there this year. We have the team to do it this year. It's one of our goals to just compete as hard as we can every day and get better. And if we get better, then we'll definitely have a chance to get up there in the tournament.
With that win over Cal, can y'all go back to that as you move forward? And as you mentioned earlier, hey, we can play with anybody.
I think we'll definitely take that with us through the season. We'll learn that, you know, Cal is ranked 24, and you know that's a big team to compete against. So with that, we'll always have the confidence to know we can beat anyone.
That's awesome. I like that. This Big East conference, move to the Big East. How exciting is this for you, having been down the road you have?
Well, Big East, new conference. I've been asked this question before, and all I go to is I feel like a freshman again, and I say that because coming in, it was the Valley teams, and I wasn't familiar with the Valley teams as much as I probably should have been. But Big East, I know the names. I don't know what the cities look like. I don't know what the fields look like. So it's like me as a freshman, but with a lot more under my belt experience-wise. So and I feel I'm talking for the whole team when I say that. So.
Well, Coach talked about how none of you guys have made it to the NCAA tournament. How important is it this year to do it this year?
Oh, that is our goal. We have it written on the whiteboard in our locker room, and it's so exciting to think about. We are in a great position to do that. We have potential to do great things. We get along so well as a team. In Arizona this past week it showed, you know, how well we are going to do this season. Why
do you guys get along so well? I mean, what's different now than maybe not just years past, but why is this year different?
I just personally, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but the seniors,
senior leadership,
the
right?
seniors,
yeah. Especially outfielders.
I mean, if you get rid of the nitty-gritty little things that you just take away, it works. Everything flows together. You're accountable for yourself and your own actions. And when you during practices, when it's most important to hold people accountable for their things, that's appropriate. Now, when you get further into the locker room talking stuff like that, that never helps any team. Mm-hmm. But we have not had one issue this year with just any relationship issues or anything. So it's nice to see us work together as a team.
It's unusual with so many girls, right?
It is. See, it is. You understand it. It's very unusual.
Why would you say that he would understand? Why would he understand any better than me?
Yeah.
Or him? Or Glenn?
Good question.
That is a great question.